Alright guys, this is a review of my 2018 Yamaha Wolverine X4. It's a little bit dirty, and I apologize. I'm filming this with my iPhone, so it's probably not going to look great or sound great. We've got roughly, I believe, about 130 miles on it. And I added the rear bumper, the roof, and we just picked up the windshield on Friday because it's been a little bit chilly here. But first and foremost, we've been really happy. Our kids are 7 and 8, and they fit in the back seat, and they've been pretty happy back here. So they've got 4 cup holders and plenty of footroom. And my wife and I actually trade out the kids periodically to let one of them at a time ride in the front. So we've got their helmets still in here. The machine is definitely very quiet, which is something we really looked for after test driving some Can-Ams. And then my mother and father-in-law have an Articat Wildcat Sport 700. It's way, way, way quiet compared to any of the other options out there, in my opinion. You do have a nice little center console, which has come in handy. We've got some TP in there, some maps, some gloves. So only complaint about this is it doesn't always latch on its own. So I've kind of had to push forward on the little clip there to get it to engage. As far as power delivery, it's been really, really smooth. There's no jerk like there is with some of the other models. I've also got a decent little glove box, which is currently full of trash from yesterday's ride. I still have to go through it and clean it all up. I am looking at putting some 28-inch tires and some 14-inch wheels on it. I've got, I believe, plenty of space in there as far as clearance is concerned. The tie rod end is my only concern, which I think going to a 14-inch wheel, I think we'll clear that without a problem. We've been in some mud, some snow, climbed around on some rocks. A lot of hard pack, which there's one thing I can say about these Maxxis tires is on hard pack. Once you get up to about 35 to 37 miles an hour, they just scream. So that's part of the reason I'm looking at replacing the tires. Not a huge deal. However, I bought the machine because it was really quiet. That was one of the selling features on it. And you can't even hear the engine at that speed. All you hear is the tires nonstop. So you're either slowing down or trying to speed up a little bit to get rid of it. However, as soon as you get back on soft terrain, it's fine. You've actually got quite a bit of space back here. It's hard to tell from the pictures. I've just got my straps back here right now because I took it off the trailer last night. But we've been able to keep a small soft cooler back here with lunch and drinks and all that. Extra coats and extra warm clothes, case of water. And then in between the 2 rear seats, you've got quite a bit of space if you want to put another soft cooler or tool bag or something like that in there. At first, I had to complain about the seat belts. They are pretty difficult to actually pull out, and they don't seem to want to retract as quick. However, they've loosened up a little bit since we've had it, so they're not quite as bad. You just want to make sure, unless you're really tall, to use these guys. Otherwise it will choke you if you get on the brakes or you're going down a hill. That guy wants to get up into your throat, and it's pretty obnoxious. However, it's, like I said, it's loosened up. It's become a little bit more comfortable. The windshield, we did go through Yamaha. Currently nobody makes well, at least in the United States, makes a 2-piece for this. Once there are half windshields available, I will probably pick one of those up for the warmer months. The only other accessory that I've done is I bought this mirror for, I think it's $26 off of Amazon. It's concave or convex, so basically it kind of serves as side view mirrors as well as a rear view mirror, but you can definitely see who's coming up behind you, make sure you didn't lose anybody on the trail. The full doors have been really nice. Yesterday we were in some soft slushy snow and mud. None made it really inside. The mud that you do see was from our first ride when we went through some mud and did not have the windshield, and some water splashed up into the cabin. But all in all, I've been really satisfied. I can't wait until the aftermarket gets after it and we see what the motor's capable of. I am going to be ordering the oversized tire clutch kit from my local dealership and having that installed. I may do it myself, just kind of depends on my timeline and work and whatnot. But I think with a bigger tire that's a little bit more quiet on hard pack, it'll look better as well as ride better. But fuel wise, that was one thing I was concerned about, because we plan on doing a lot of 100+ mile rides. Yesterday we did roughly about 90 miles, and we're showing we've still got 1 bar left. So I don't necessarily know. I'm gonna actually take it down to the gas station and fill it completely up today and see what that actually means. I know it's got a 9-gallon tank, so my big thing was just making sure we could get 120 miles. But yesterday was a lot of high speed 40 to 50 mile an hour runs, as well as some climbing around in 4 low and some mud and stuff like that. And we climbed some really steep hills to get to a pretty cool lookout up towards what's called House Mountain down in southern Idaho, north of Mountain Home. But it's been a really good ride so far. Really nice soft plush suspension. I might firm up the front just a click for when we are going through some higher speed turns and whatnot. It seems like the front end does want to kind of roll a little bit, but the rear end has been rock solid with that load leveling, and it's been a good rig this far. I'll continue to do some videos as I add some additional stuff, and I've got a GoPro. I just need to find it and get it all put together, because I actually want to video some of our rides. But yeah, this is her. Nothing out of the ordinary, what you would expect right away. But it's been good, and I've actually been able to keep up with some really aggressive riding with an Arctic Cat Sport, as well as kind of walk away from it in some steeper inclines. So I think the power delivery and ability to climb is right up there. And I've got some buddies that kind of originally seen it say they don't like the safari style where it's shorter and boxier, but I've found that that's actually really helpful in the woods. The shorter the machine, you can definitely get in between trees and kind of navigate tighter corners really easily. Width-wise, hasn't bothered us at all. I've been on some supposed 50-inch trails, and we've been able to kind of keep it in the trail without a problem. So I haven't really run into anything like that yet that we haven't been able to do. But it's been a good rig. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on the Wolverine forum. But I'm looking forward to, like I said, the aftermarket, getting a hold of it, and hopefully doing some things to remove the governor. It is currently set at 51 miles an hour. I've only hit it a couple of times. It doesn't seem like it really impedes things that much. However, on some of the dirt roads we were on yesterday, it would have been nice to be able to get up to about 55 or so. It's definitely not maxing out rev limiter wise. It's just the machine's governor kind of shutting it down, and it doesn't even feel like the revs are that high. But I'm waiting for, I imagine that there's going to be a company that does some sort of a bed extender back here to where you've got a kind of cargo basket that reaches out to the end of the tailgate. That would be nice, because you could put a big part cooler as well as some other stuff. I've been looking at possibly coming up with my own spare tire mount. I don't want to do it behind the tailgate because we use that a lot, so constantly taking it off to open up the tailgate doesn't sound like that much fun. But headlights are really nice and bright. I'm not sure what they do in comparison to some of the other models out there, but when it's dark, I'll video a little clip of that. All in all, like I said, we love it. The tilt wheel has been nice because my wife is actually, she's about 5'3", 5'4", and so she can get pretty close to the steering wheel, tilt it up. It's a little more comfortable. For me, I like to scoot the seat back, lower the wheel down, get a little bit more of a sporty feel. My only real complaint on it at this point is if the wheel is not tilted up and I go to try to climb in it. I'm not a small guy, so this guy kind of gets in the way. So I don't know if there's going to be, you know, an option to kind of modify that a little bit so it doesn't take up as much room right there. The doorway is plenty wide, but when you go to climb into the seat, there's not a ton of room between here and here. The steering wheel is tilted all the way up right now, and I mean, you might have 18-20 inches there, which might work fine for some slender folks, but that's not my case. So the overall body does a really good job of keeping the interior dry and keeps mud out of there. Like I said, the only mud or water that we've taken inside was because I didn't have the windshield on. So we went into a puddle that was probably about 8 inches deep, and it just shot water up and over the hood. But I look forward to doing some more videos for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy.